anything can have an effect on you, there must be a link. Before any medicine can kill you, there must be a link. If you don't drink the medicine cannot kill you. But we have what we call divine links and we have evil links. And because Satan takes advantage of evil links, I want us to study how we can break any evil link that he has with us. Now, realize that when Adam was created and placed in the garden, he had no evil association with the devil, although Satan was around. Hence, God was able to come to him in the cool of the day and have fellowship. Don't forget that Adam was created as a grown man, but he was still a baby in the mind. Adam was going through education because he never went through any childhood. He was created as a man. So God had to train him to adapt all that he lost, all that he missed before he became a man. His childhood days, his youthful days, and so he had to be brought up. God is a God of process. He doesn't do things instantaneously. It's not the devil who does things instantly. God takes us through processes. So if you are not ready to go through the orientation of God, you cannot walk with God. We should be prepared to go through his training, his orientation. So Adam was created as a full-grown man. It was important for God to come to Adam for training sessions. He will come to him and have interaction with him so that he would understand processes, how to stay with God indefinitely, how to do things to please God, whatever that God had mandated him to carry out, how he would understand it fully and never veer off the path. Adam was going through training. So God will come to him and have interaction with him. During those moments, there was no link of Adam to the devil. So Adam was enjoying all the benefits that God had for him as a human, till there was an evil link. The evil link was sin. The moment Satan introduced sin into the system, things changed totally. Those communications that God was having with Adam ceased. That interaction ceased. Now the interaction that man began to have with the new link was the devil and sin. Adam then had begun to obey the voice of the devil, the laws of sin, the demands of sin. And he was nearing death because God had told him that, Adam, as it is now, you are with me. You are enjoying all full benefits from me because your link is with me. The day that you eat of this fruit, in dying you shall die. In other words, you are going to change links. You are going to be connected to a different link. And this link will lead you to death. Unfortunately, because Adam obeyed sin, Because Adam sinned, and he happens to be the foremost, the uppermost, as far as genealogy is concerned, all descendants of Adam have been born into sin. For that reason, sin has control. The devil has control. Sin brings about death. And that is the new link of man with humanity, with the devil. Every man born into this world has a link. And that link has to be broken. Jesus has come to break this link for us, but that is in the potential state. Everything that God has done for us through Jesus, we have to activate it. We have to enforce it. For instance, salvation has been given to us. Salvation is free. In as much as it is free, you have to take it. You have to accept it. Even though it is available, if you don't accept it, you are not saved. All that God has done for us, if we don't accept it, better way to say is that if we don't apply faith, although it is available, we don't benefit from grace. Grace is something you did not work for. Somebody has done it for you, but you have to receive it. The act of receiving it is what the Bible terms faith. The just shall live by faith. We have a part to play. You must do something. If you don't pray, God cannot act on our behalf. If you don't take the step, nothing happens. Draw nigh unto me, and I will draw nigh unto you. Whatever it is that you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. It is a two-way street. Nothing happens automatically. Why are Christians beginning to have this mindset that God will do it for me, whereas they themselves have not done their part? God will not do anything that he has done already. Whatever it is that he has done, there is a potential power in it to work on our behalf. But we have to activate it. The new link. So Adam sinned, and the link that he had with God the Father and the Son, the whole everything got broken. Now he began to have a new link. Don't forget that Adam was made from the earth, and all humans are made from the earth. So all humans have this link on the earth. Satan has now come here legally. He has become the God of this world. Everywhere that you go, there is an agent of darkness responsible for that place. Powers of darkness, evil links. If you want to take charge, you must break the link, or else you cannot break through. And many families and people have formed strong alliances with these links, demonic links. And that is what we call the altar. Altars. Every land has an altar, which is dominating places. And these altars, because of the sin committed by Adam, legally they are ruling the minds of the people in that vicinity. If you are a man of God, a born-again Christian, or wherever the Lord has sent you to a place, the first thing you have to do is to take charge of that land. Break that link, or else the minds of the people are blinded. Because of what Adam did, he has blinded. Satan has the power to blind the minds of the people. so that they do not receive the gospel. And legally, he does so. He does it. Take a look at 2 Corinthians chapter number 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Let's read from verse number 3. But even if our gospel is veiled, you wonder why you preach and you don't have a breakthrough. It is veiled. Satan makes sure he places a veil between the gospel and the people you are preaching to. You are not breaking through because there is a veil. Say veil. Not until that veil is taken off, you can have what? A breakthrough. How did that veil come about? The veil came about because of Adam's sin. Satan took over. Now let's read on. Even if our gospel is veiled, it is veiled to those who are perishing. You can have a breakthrough. You can't penetrate. The people are perishing. Satan has placed a veil between the gospel and them. The gospel is veiled to them. They are perishing. But Satan won't allow the gospel to get to them. How did they come about? Read on the next one. Verse 4. Whose minds? He places the veil on their minds. Whose minds the God of this age has blinded. Who do not believe, lest the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine on them. What is blocking the people and the gospel? Say veil. Say veil. Say veil. Meaning that if you are able to take away the veil, you can have a breakthrough. That is what I call the link. The link. If you're a teacher teaching a student, and understanding is not getting through, there might be something there, that thing, if you take it out of the way, the understanding will be there. There is always a veil. There is always a link which must be removed. That should be our focus. And don't forget that Satan is the God of this age. He has dominated this land. This land that God gave to Adam, he willingly gave it to the devil. So Satan has taken over the affairs of this land. Everywhere you go, there is a God who is responsible for the land. An altar has been built. Not until you break that altar, you cannot have a breakthrough. In your family, there must be an altar. There must be an altar. But most of the time, we place attention on the people and neglect the altar, which is the link. If we are able to break the link, that altar link to yourself or your people, you have a breakthrough. So that is my emphasis. That is where we should be focusing at. If we can focus on that, we're going to have a breakthrough. The link. An altar is that place where spirits meet. Spirits communicate. Hallelujah. So that was the reason why it becomes difficult for you to break through sometimes. When Moses went to the land of Egypt, God directed him to break the gods, the altars of the land. He gave him direction to break them singularly. 12 major gods, 12 major demonic powers that Satan has placed on the land of Egypt. Till Moses broke their powers, the Israelites could not be released. So if you have any next prayer topic at all to pray, we should pray every link with me and any altar, any evil altar, be broken. And if you don't pray this prayer, you cannot have a breakthrough. You cannot just have a breakthrough. Because Satan is the God of this world. He has dominated the earth. Legally, it belongs to him. So if you go and you say that you are from above, and your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, then you have engaged yourself in a battle. And sometimes the battle has to be fierce. You're not going to have it easy. It means you are going to pray to dethrone a power, dethrone a demon. Make sure you take off the rulership of that spirit from that place, or else you cannot be the God of that place. You cannot. If you are born into a family, your father's lineage or your mother's lineage, let me tell you, there has been a link to the God of this world. If you want to break through somebody different, you must establish a new altar. Say a new altar. Have you wondered why Abraham? Come with me to Genesis chapter number 12. Genesis chapter 12. Genesis chapter 12. The Lord had instructed Abraham to leave his father's house, his country, his kindred, to a new place. So Abraham had obeyed the commandments of the Lord, and then he had arrived at a place. Look at verse number 7. Beginning from verse number 6. Genesis chapter 12. Abraham passed through the land to the place of Shechem, as far as the terebinth tree of Moreh, and the Canaanites were in the land. And the Canaanites were in the land. What does it mean? Meaning that the land that the Lord is saying that I'm taking you there, the place that you want to go, it is under the possession of some people. Some other people are in charge. You want to take over, then you have to do something different. You have to break the link. There has to be a fierce battle. Divine war has to take place, or else you cannot be the God of that land. And the Canaanites were in the land. You want to break through. You say you are born again. Your father worshiped idols. Your father has paid homage to a demonic power in the family, and you say you want to be different. Then you have to do something different. You have to build a new altar. There has to be a new link. A new link. When you are saying that I want to break the old link and establish a new link, then you are talking about warfare. It's not going to be easy. The fact that there is grace doesn't mean that you can access grace without faith. You access grace by works, action. If you don't do nothing, nothing good comes to you automatically. Although grace is available, you don't just enjoy it by doing nothing. You must do something. We have work to do. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Your will be done on earth. Be done. Be done. That word be done. Be done tells you something. Your will be done means somebody has to grant him permission. I give you permission for your will to come. Father, I give you the permission, not as they will, not as that evil will, which is dominating the family, which is dominating this area, but we want your will to be done. You are talking about prayer. You are talking about breaking the old link which is controlling the will of the people, and you want to introduce the will of heaven into the system. Prayer. So if you are not ready to pay the price, throw in the towel and stop talking. It is not about talkers. It is about prayer. Those who are ready to pay the price to invite the new will. Your will be done. Be done. Be done. We permit you to come. And that is prayer. Prayer. That is the only way of communication between God and man. You invite God through your words, through constant talking to God. We invite you because legally we belong here. And God has given the earth to man. So God cannot just come in here and do whatever he likes. No. We have to invite him. How? Through prayer. Your will be done. Your will. You want to introduce a new form of will on this earth. So Abraham had arrived at that place. The Canaanites were in the land. But it was necessary for Abraham to dominate the land. How was he going to go about it? How was he going to go about it? Because the Canaanites are already in the land. They are taking possession. But God says, I want you to be the new landlord. How is it going to happen? The Canaanites belong to the God of this world. They have paid homage to the God of this world. They are in alliance with the God of this world. A different altar. An altar whose link is to the gods of that land. The Canaanites were there. There are witches and wizards in your family, in the land where you want to thrive. There is opposition, and the Canaanites were there. You're not going to have it easy. Don't let anybody kid you and lie to you that it is easy. It is a warfare. Warfare. If you are not able to pay the price, realize that you cannot take over. If you are not ready to pray to take over, then you cannot be the Lord of that land. You cannot be in charge. This is the reality. So what did Abraham do? Look at verse number 7. Then the Lord appeared to Abraham and said, to your descendants, I will give this land. To your descendants, I will give this land. Meaning the land, as far as the will of God is concerned, will be for the descendants of Abraham. Does it mean that has come to him? No. In the eyes of God, it belongs to Abraham. In the realms of the spirit, it belongs to Abraham. It has not come to him physically yet because the Canaanites are in the land. And God said, listen, as far as I'm concerned, I will give to your descendants this land. And there he builds an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. Say an altar. Say an altar. Indicating that if this God has appeared to me, then I'm establishing a new link with me and you. So right now, Abraham has invited God into that land. Adam, as a result of his sin, dispelled God from interacting with man. But Abraham, because he built an altar, he has invited God into that land legally by way of altar. Say altar. Say altar. So now we're talking about the Canaanites who are in the land. They have their new link with the devil, the God of that land. And Abraham has also introduced a new link, okay, with the God of heaven. Hello? Hello? See what is happening. That is what is happening. And it goes on and on. Look at verse 8. And he moved from there to the mountain east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. Are you beginning to see the connection? Establishing the new link. See the new link. See the new link. You establish the new link through altars, through prayer. Prayer. If you are not ready to pay the price, forget about the much talking. I'm in charge. I have it. God has done it. I thought by saying it, things will begin to change. Look at how long you have been saying all these things, but still the same. Because it demands warfare. It demands prayer. God had appeared to Abraham, said so many things to him. I will bless your descendants. You are blessed. You are great. You are mighty. Those who bless you, I bless them, and all. Meaning that all those who are connected to Abraham have access to these blessings. And yet, there are people who are connected to Abraham, but because they are not acting by faith, because they are not taking actions, Satan takes advantage to bind them, to place them in bondage, because we must do something. Come with me to Luke chapter 13. Luke chapter 13. I'm reading from verse number 10. Luke chapter 13, and I'm reading from verse number 10. Now he was teaching in one of the synagogues on the Sabbath. And behold, there was a woman who had the spirit of infirmity 18 years. And was bent over and could in no way raise herself up. This is serious. Okay, look at verse number 12. But when Jesus saw her, he called her to him and said to her, woman, you are loosed from your infirmity. Take notice of the word loosed. Now how come if there was no link, Jesus could use the word loosed? The woman was bound with a spirit of infirmity for 18 years. Meaning that the link that that woman had with that spirit of infirmity, yes, we must have a new link. Jesus said, I loose you from that old link. Be loose from your infirmity. That link leads the woman to a demon of infirmity. Her being bent over, her being bound, was connected to the God of this world. Adam gave that demon, Satan, the permission. And Satan has spread all his demons all over the world. All over the earth, every land. They have occupied places. Everywhere you go, there is a demon in charge of that place. You must break the link of that spirit. Otherwise, your altar, the minds of the people cannot be loosed to come to church. They take off that link. The minds of the people don't belong to you. You will speak to them, they will not listen. Your gospel will be veiled. Your gospel will be blocked. Your good news cannot penetrate. Because that altar controls their minds.